Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to share with you on the topic of anyone can write a book, few can sell one, and here is why. So I'm looking forward to sharing my insights on that particular topic. So let me just say right away, you may understand that sentence or that headline quite different to how it might be intended. That is one of the reasons that makes selling their books so difficult for so many people who write one. And here is why. Anyone can write a book. So let me get started with that. In today's world, it is so straightforward for you in business in particular to pick a topic around your expertise, perhaps an experience you have had over time, and you want to share that with people to make an impact around what you know and share that with other people. You might want to share that because you really want to inspire people, perhaps to change directions, to do something different. And you can pack all of that into a book, a great way of doing so. Now, that wasn't always so. In days gone by, the publishing industry had a huge hold on who would be able to write and publish a book and who was not allowed to, and most people were not allowed to, because they held the key to unlock that whole area of publishing. They wanted to only have experts, people who had something to share that would return money, most of all for the publishers. And these days, that still is the case for the big publishing houses, of course. And that has to be like that because they put a very different arrangement around the whole scenario of writing and publishing a book. For you and I and people in business in general, particularly coaches and consultants who have a message to share. And there's lots of wonderful coaches and consultants on so many different areas of coaching, just areas of knowledge, just thinking of health and wellness alone. There is such an enormous multitude of wonderful ways of helping people, of people being able to help themselves once they know what your methodology is, for example. And of course, the book is the top way to bring all of that information together in one place. People don't have to collect social media post after social media post, record videos or keep videos somewhere in a safe place, linking to them so they can go back listening to what you have to say. Imagine all of that information is in one book. So people get that, all of that knowledge of yours, that expertise of yours in just that one place. That is powerful. And you can do that easily. There is no secret to how to do that. There is no particular talent or expertise as such needed to write a book. And so many people do. Unfortunately, what does happen is when people jump in there and write their book, and they might even have help from certain mentors or coaches or even publishing houses, whatever happens, so many people have still that big misunderstanding of how that entire path of writing, publishing, and marketing, which has to happen at the end, definitely. And if you don't know how to do that at the end because you didn't start with it at the beginning, then you're going to be sitting there and not selling your book. So let me go a little bit deeper into what I actually mean when I say anyone can write a book, few can sell one. Generally speaking, people follow the outdated path, the outdated way of thinking about a book, about writing and publishing a book. They go about step one or phase one, writing. Step two, phase two, they go about and look at finding somebody to publish it, or maybe they will consider publishing it themselves, but there's a lot of hurdles on the way. And only after that are they going to think about, right, how am I going to market my book now? And that is when they get stumped. They're not making sales. Now, if you did not start with that book in mind at the beginning what you actually want to achieve, then that's going to be really difficult, if not impossible in some cases, to sell, to make sales. And we want to distinguish here, what sort of sales are you after? Do you want to simply sell a book at $20, $30 a piece? Or would you much rather sell your service as a whole? A program that you have, a package that you have that is worth a lot more than $20 or $30 of a book. And if that is what you have in mind, then those sales definitely need to be planned before you start writing your book. Now, if you followed me and listened to my videos or have read my posts, you know that that big thing, that big point of difference that I advocate for and that I offer people who get my help is that we start with the outcome in mind. And that outcome has to be, what do I want to achieve? Do I want to make book sales? Or do I want to sell my expertise and bring people to me to come and take up my higher end packages, programs, services? So I want to share in this short video with you today at this time, the top 3 reasons. I've just got my notes over here so that I don't get distracted and talk too much and keep your attention. The top three reasons why people can't sell their book. Whether you are after book sales, whether you see book sales as part of promoting yourself, or whether you're just looking at bringing people to you, either way, the phrase that I'm using here, can't sell, goes for both. The top 3 reasons people can write but not sell their book. Number 1, the reason number 1 is that people just don't write their book with the reader in mind. Now, I've been doing what I'm doing, helping coaches, consultants, other people in a service situation, in a service business, or experts since 2014 to write a book in the framework with the strategy that I offer. And I have come across time and time again, people saying to me, my book is for everybody. Everybody who wants this, everybody who needs to know this, everybody from that background. Look, that's not how business works. That's not how marketing works. And I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you know that when you go into drilling down into your marketing, you hear and read and see everywhere, who's your avatar? Who's that niche you are servicing? Who are you going to work with? Who do you want to work with? So in exactly the same way, who is that reader? Who do you want to be attracted by your book? If you're not looking at that before you start writing, it's going to make it very difficult because there is no such thing as anybody or everybody. So starting at the beginning with the thought of, who am I writing my book for, will help you to make sales, whether they are book sales or sales of you, who you are, your services, your programs, your packages. That is the first reason. And you really want to have a look at who are you going to write your book for in depth. So people who come to me, this is something that we explore layer after layer after layer, that we really dig into, not just about the book, but I also ask about the entire business of the person that's working with me. I need to know that so I can guide you in the right direction. I do not have a one-size-fits-all approach, and I don't recommend you do either, certainly not with your book. Number 2, so reason number 2 why anyone can write a book, but few can sell one. Reason number 2 is that people use an unclear book title. There is this mentality out in some areas there that says you've got to have a unique or a snappy sounding title, you know, something that no one else is using. Because when people see this, 2 words, 3 words, whatever they are, people will stop and think, wow, what is this? I need to read this. That is not how it works. If that is how it worked, think of all the media headlines out there. Anything that has ever drawn your attention was not cryptic, artistic, or undefined. Anything that's ever drawn you in out there, when you've seen it come through your feed, scrolling, or checking through videos on YouTube, or whatever you're doing out there in social media, magazines, whatever you're reading, networking even, wherever you go, what gets your attention? Now think about for a second. Just think about that. What gets your attention? Something that you are already looking for, something that's already on your mind. If you are looking for, gosh, there must be a secret around marketing for my business because I can't find anything that works for me. Well, the secret of marketing a business like yours is going to capture your attention. You will want to know, wow, that's what I'm looking for. That's the book for me. That's the person who wrote that for me to know more about. What do they offer? What is it? Where are they? That is when the attention is captured. So the book title needs to be something in direct relation to what you have on offer, to that expertise that you have, to whatever that message is you want to put out there. It needs to be clear. Even if it's a little bit longer than 3 or 4 words, it needs to be clear so that the person who sees that, you know how quickly we scroll through social media in particular today. When that person that sees the title of your book can immediately identify with that title, then you have captured their attention. Then you can sell your book, your services, whatever it is you are selling. And your book is your main part of drawing that attention to it. So the title needs to be in direct relation to what you offer and what you want to achieve. That is how simple it is. So that was the second reason as to, why people can't sell the book. And the third one, well, that's the biggest one in my opinion and in the way that my framework works. Reason number 3 that people can't sell their book after they have written and published it is that they just did not start with a plan what they want their book to do for them at the end. Now, most things, I'm sure you could think about it and you would agree with me, most things that you want to achieve, you put them into your mind, whether you have it as a written goal, whether you write down a detailed plan, whether you research and then plan, whatever it is you do to achieve something, but you start with thinking about what it is you want to achieve. Isn't it? So when you write your book, this is the program that I offer, the framework that I have for clients who work with me. We start with the outcome in mind. That's such a great phrase. I use it over and over. I say, what outcome do you want to achieve? What is it, in other words, that you want that book to do for you? And if you use that phrase and just think about that for a moment, write it down and really think about, what does that mean? I want the book to do something for me. Yes, absolutely. What is it you want that book to do for you? That is the starting point, and you really plan and map out. Well, if that is what I want the book to do, then I need to write it for these people. And for those people is interesting this topic. So these are really very logic steps. And I know not everybody is this logic. I'm pretty logic most of the time, not all the time. Not everybody thinks that way. So really getting someone's help, I am available for help, is so important. If you want to achieve anything with your book, even to make it seen, even if you make no sales, you just want your book to elevate or up-level your authority, your expertise status. You want to start with planning. What is it that book is going to do for you? What do you want it to do for you? And get someone to help you. Because often ourselves, we're not necessarily seeing ourselves in that way. I mean, that's what business coaching is all about, for example, and life coaching and all the other types of coaching, you know, mind coaching, money coaching, all the different areas are about having the help on the outside to get you to where you want to go. And you wouldn't engage somebody to help you if you didn't know where you wanted to go with it. True? So that is my message for you today. Anyone can write a book. You can write a book. It really is not that difficult. You don't need anything, expertise of any kind in the way you write. There is no code of how to write. There is nothing, no one that will diminish you by writing your way in your voice. In fact, it is much better to write in your voice so people can actually get to know you through reading your book. It is just so important. But you want to consider those steps that I've just given you, or those 3 reasons, starting with the outcome, with the end in mind. What is it you want that book to do for you? That means, who do you need to write it for? And that means, what does the title need to be so that those people are attracted to your book? And then you'll be able to make sales, whatever the sales look like that you would like to achieve. Sigrid de Cast is my name. Sticky Big Marketing is my business. I have done and helped coaches, consultants, savvy business owners on all different service-based businesses since 2014 write a book, publish it, and market it. So the book is written marketing optimized. That means we know how you're going to make those sales when you're finished. And my program in particular is different in that I combine, in fact, integrate all 3 phases of the process. We plan, you write. We work on the publishing part, and the publishing is all yours. You publish it in your name for all the royalties to go to you. And when it is time to launch, you're ready to put your book into the market. You have your plan to promote yourself, your services, your expertise easily. That's it for me for today. I'm stumbling over my own tongue today. And await for next time on another video all about write, publish, and market your expertise book.